Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. Hope you're all doing well today, and welcome to Mr. Smokester's latest creation, released on the shop as of yesterday. It should be, if you're seeing this video on the day of release. This is Moto Haven, and I'll be honest, as I'm flying around here, it's looking a bit more like a Moto Heaven to me. This is signature Smokester track design right here. It looks very fast. It looks like the ruts hold you perfectly, and we've got some very big booster jumps as well to send me up in the air. And I'm recording this just off the back of the MXB Ranked Season 2 finale commentating stream that I'd done. Thank you, first of all, everybody that stopped by on that. It was a little bit of an impromptu stream, so I know it's not on everybody's schedule for the week, but I really do appreciate it nonetheless. However, there was a man in that race by the name of Poct who was riding the TM 250 4-stroke, and I don't think the TMs get much love in this game, to be completely honest with you. For good reason. The 450 is absolute booty cheeks and should not be touched with a barge pole. The 250 4-stroke, however, is very, very competitive, and I implore people to experiment on it a little bit. But what I'm going to be riding today is the TM 250 2-stroke, and I don't know if it's a bike that I've done a video on before, but I'm excited to see how it handles. I'm just going to leave it stock. You know, I'll probably change the tyre to whatever the lowest tyre is, just so we can get some rolling speed going. And I'm hoping that she's got enough ponies under the old bonnet to be able to get us over some of these jumps. But the overall layout and flow and elevation changes around here on the surface, before even touching the track, looks very, very promising. So let's give it a go. Now, if at any point throughout this video, if it seems almost like a little bit rushed, it's not intended to be. However, you will have known if you tuned into it from my last two streams, we are getting those lovely 2 weeks in the UK where the weather is just disgustingly hot. So it is currently 30 Celsius in this tiny little box room that I'm in right now. No idea what the humidity and stuff is like. I just know that the UK heat is just very, very humid. It's pretty damn gross. And I've got the fan to my right here. My PC sounds like it's going to explode where the fans are just pumping so quickly. So I'm hoping I can get this all recorded and then I can leave this room as soon as possible, because it literally heats up by the minute in here. But we're going to see how this goes. And again, I'm trying to give this little TM 252 stroke a go, which probably one of the least used bikes in the game, I'll be honest. In terms of bikes you'd expect to get a little bit of use, obviously you got the weird ones like the Beta 300. I mean, you got the weird TM 500, and whilst on the surface it sounds like, yeah, 500 would be cool, you then realise that it's a 4-stroke and it's actually hella slow, so it's all in the bottom end there, no top speed whatsoever. So we're going to try the 252 stroke out today, and I couldn't tell you the reason why the TM 450 is so cheats when the 250 4-stroke is actually really good fun, and to the point where I would say it's one of the best 4-strokes to try. Doesn't get much love though, is what I've noticed. I know the top level boys know much better than I do what bike is the best, and everyone seems to have gravitated towards like the Husky KTM. I know the Honda 250 does seem to get a little bit of love from time to time as well, and then I've seen a very rare occasion of people riding the Yamaha to a higher level also. And I'm very inexperienced when it comes to the 250s, especially in recent years. I'd say 99.5, we won't go to 0.9% of the time, a 450 rider. And that's just the classes I end up racing in. But I did hop on a 250 to try out Kels's finale track that he released on the shop as well for that event that I commentated yesterday. And I was learning it on the Honda 250, and it blows my mind how light the 250s are in comparison. I know that might sound like a stupid statement to make, because of course it's going to be lighter, it's just a lighter bike. But the way you can throw it around, but then also basically have perfect grip and traction everywhere, is insane to me. If there are any 250 riders out there, and you do complain about grip in this game, please ride a 450 and then report back to me on your feelings, because I just feel like I couldn't get the back end to step out if I wanted to anywhere. It was just locked in all over the place. And that was on the 100 rear tyre, not even the 110 option, which I think is meant to be a little bit grippier. But we're rocking this one today. I'm rocking, I think it was the 100 rear tyre, whatever comes stock on this. And then I've just changed the mapping to the race mapping on this bike. And other than that, she's as stock as she comes. Took a bit of fuel out. I started this with 4 litres rather than the usual, I don't know, was it like 6 or 7-ish area that some of these OEM bikes come in. I know that each bike changes on a bike-by-bike basis. That jump there, hella satisfying when you get it right, but the downside of it is so steep. You've got to be very, very perfect. But just like I thought, as we was flying around in the intro here, this track is very quick. Can we get... That'd be nice. If I get a 450 there as well, you can probably double up and over that perfectly. It does seem like a very 450 friendly track, just from what I've played so far. Let's try and get slid into this rut. Don't go over it, thank you. Get up this hill. Looks like the far inside might be the way to go there, with how the rut leads up the hill afterwards. And I'm not sure the methods or programs that Smokester uses when he's building these tracks. I believe there's an element of leveler in there. I don't know if he like hand draws ruts, or if they're Photoshop ruts, or if they are leveler ruts. I've got no idea. But they do a very good job of just locking the bike into place. They're big, but they're not like disgustingly big to the point where it's just one line and one line only. They all kind of end up working out to the same sort of degree, but Smokester's tracks are built for fun. Like, they're not meant to be super challenging by any means. They're meant to log on with the boys, burn some laps, hold the right trigger down, and get the bike as backwards as you can get it, basically. And I think he does a good job in accomplishing that. And I say time and time again, various track creators as well, it's nice seeing people's journeys as stuff has gone on, because Smokester went from having 0 track building experience to now having a catalogue of, like, was he, like 10 different tracks now in this game. He's got his own signature style down. Usually when you look at a track, the way the height map is built and the textures involved in it, you kind of know that it's a Smokester track as well. Got like a little bit of a fan base as well for the tracks that he releases. People seem to really enjoy them, and I think he just has a good knack of doing tracks that the general populace on the game really enjoy, like just the most casual community can get along with. And they're not difficult by any means, and there is always time and a place for tracks that just have a fun factor. And especially if you're, let's say you're trying to appeal to newer people at the game, you don't want to throw a track at them that's so difficult that they can't complete a clean lap of, because that'll just end up with them getting frustrated and then never wanting to play it again. Whereas if you start with something a little bit more on the simple side, but like this has big jumps, for example. The jumps, I think, will be the most challenging bit for a lot of these players, where the corners are very straightforward. They can take that one part of their game, like the jumps, and just slowly improve on that, and then they can maybe just try whipping, scrubbing little bits here and there, and they've not got to worry about the rest of the track. They can just use this track as their jump track practice, and maybe there's another track that's out there that they'll try and practice their turning on, for example. So it's nice having these different tracks to work on things. I know when... So last year's aerial outdoors season, when Finn was absolutely waxing everybody at the start of it, and nobody really played the game like Finn did back then. He was the guy that I think really brought standing up everywhere to the forefront of the game. He was like the first person to really do it and show how quick it was. So I made a point back then. Parlour was quite a... I wouldn't say it's difficult to an extent. Parlour last year was a bit of a tricky one, because there was a lot of corners where you could grab your handlebars on the rut next to you, which when you're sat down is a lot easier to do than when you're stood up. When you're stood up, it seems to give you a little bit more clearance to the ground. So I intentionally went out of my way to unbind my sit down button, so I was forced to stand up everywhere, but then also played Parlour because of how the corners were laid out. And that one track alone helped me so much in my turns for that year and learning how to stand up more. So there is definitely different tracks that help you excel in different areas. So some tracks should be hard, some tracks should be easy, some tracks should be jumpy, some tracks should be tight and technical. And I like just the general array of stuff that we've got on this game. And whilst this TM252 Smoker actually feels quite fun to ride right now, I think she's lacking just a little bit of power. There's 1 or 2 jumps I can't quite fully get over cleanly. Now, I don't know if this bike actually ends up being faster than the 254 strokes. I mean, they're pretty damn grippy, and once they're up to speed, they do get moving. But so I kind of wish that I had an extra 200 cc's and an extra 2 strokes between my legs. Let's not take that out of context. I wish I was on a 450 right now. Definitely would have made life a bit easier for myself. But as I said at the start of this video, this is going to be a one take and done, because honestly I can start feeding the pits, getting a little bit sweaty as we're progressing through this. Let's ride this absolute wall around the outside here, and then we hit the little double step up, and then this is a scrub jump. Go to the left. Let me try hugging the inside here as well. I don't think I've done that too often. One thing that is nice, and probably affects me more than others in my old age as my eyesight's getting worse and worse, is it's very easy to spot where the ruts begin, because he's gone out of his way to texture it in a way that you can very easily see where the top of the rut is. Which for me, I love that, because I guess it is a combination of me getting older now, as well as the way the camera moves in the most recent beta update. A lot of the time around these corners, I can't actually see what's coming up. I just kind of have to crank the bike over and hope and pray that I get around to the end of it. It does get quite blurry, and I mean, I haven't gone for an eye test in a very long time, but last time I did, which was years and years and years ago, my left eye is not great. You know, when you do the eye test and they get you to read off the letters like from a distance in front of you, and then they get smaller and smaller. I've done that, and the left eye did not do very well on that test. Right eye is pretty damn good, but the left not so great at all. So it definitely does affect me from time to time, and I'll definitely have days where things are a bit blurry than others. But I don't want to wear glasses at any point, and I also don't like the idea of shoving contacts in my eyes every day. Just, I don't know, it just weirds me out a little bit. I just don't like stuff with eyes. Not my favourite thing in the world. And I think if you saw a picture of me in the old glasses I used to have, you'd probably put some sort of restraining order for me in schools, because I should be on a list with the way I looked. It was outrageous. So now I basically just struggle to see things 100% clearly and then complain about it rather than do anything about it, which is typical Lynn's fashion. And I'm loving these alternative rhythm sections here. This is something that Smokes has done, I think, basically since the first ever track that I've played of his, where it won't be a split rhythm in terms of there are tough blocks down the middle and you have to choose left side or right side, but it will be a split rhythm of, hey, if you double into this section, you then have an alternative rhythm of jumps after that, compared to if you triple through this section, you'll then have a different line after that as well. But he does a good job of making them seem quite similar in terms of speed, but then also feeling very, very different. It's like you'll triple, go really high, and then the next jump you'll stay really low, or you'll double and stay really low, and then the next jump will put you really high, and they do tend to work quite similar to each other by the end. I'm having a good time, basically just holding the trigger down and getting off the back end of this two-stroke. The reason I chose the TM as well, outside of being inspired by Mr. Pop in the series earlier, is is still, I don't know if we're getting any OEM updates anytime soon. I haven't seen any sort of announcements or information regarding that. But the Fantic and the Yamaha two-stroke, which annoyingly were some of my favourite two-strokes to ride, and I think the Yamaha two-stroke still does resonate with a lot of people. Just the sound of them, the sound and the rev limiter just doesn't work properly. It's a bit on the booth side, and I just can't bring myself to do it. It makes it very unsatisfying to play when it doesn't sound or ride exactly as you feel. But this is doing a very good job. I'm not going to get over that, am I? Boing! No. Send that. Maybe over that. Nice. And I know I've said it a couple times now, but I think as of Monday is when I'm going to start doing it. I'm going to try and do some MXB ranked stuff. So what that entails, it's not going to be on YouTube. So if you don't follow me on Twitch already, then please go over to Twitch. It is just Lynn's MX, and give me a follow over there. And again, I'm so inexperienced on Twitch, I don't even know if there's like a button that you press to do notifications like on YouTube, where you press the bell to turn notifications on, which you should also do, by the way, and subscribe if you're new. I'd very much appreciate that. But I'm going to try, not every single day, because that's a bit extreme, but a couple times a week, just boot up the Twitch stream in the middle of the day, in my time, and just do a little bit of ranked gameplay. It's not going to be like the 100 to 200 people we get on the YouTube streams. I imagine it will be a lot smaller and more intimate of a stream than the YouTube ones are. I imagine like 20, 30, maybe 40 people on a good day stopping by there. I know the MX Bikes Twitch viewer base on a daily basis is a lot lower than the YouTube side is. But I don't want to overflood my YouTube, because let's say ideal world I upload in the morning every day for me. I also don't then want to have that stream up at the same time, so then the video views get taken away from it because people stop buying the stream instead. And then let's say I also have an MX Bikes live stream later that night. If it's like a Friday night for Aerial, I'd have a video and 2 live streams all within the same day. And it's a little bit too much. I know sometimes it's definitely a case of quality over quantity. You don't want to be putting out too much content. At the same time, you don't want to be putting out not enough. So I think if I try it on Twitch first, see how it goes, and then if it really is down in the dumps and struggles to get the traction that I think it will get, then maybe we'll try 1 or 2 over on the YouTube side as well. But just wanted to have a little waffle, little talk as we play around here. I'm just trying to enjoy my time playing this game now. And again, as I was commentating over the MXP ranked stuff last night, I kind of realised how much I enjoy watching people play rather than really playing too much myself. At least competing. Like, playing and competing, 2 completely different things. But just having a fun time and throwing fatties on a track like this is so different to trying to take an aerial race seriously, for example. And I use the word burnout a lot of the time, but I think what it is, not so much burnout, because again I do still like just playing the game like this. I think the level of competition has got so high now compared to what it's been in years past that you have to basically be perfect to have any chance of doing well. And that in itself takes a whole nother level of dedication I just don't think I'm not ready for. I don't think I want anymore. So I'm happy to turn up every Friday, do my motos and do the stream and chill out with you guys. And then outside that, I just want to try and enjoy it as much as I can do and just have fun with the game rather than taking it too seriously anymore. And I think you guys understand where I'm coming from in that as well. I played the game for 5 years now, almost 5 years. So it's inevitable that you'll get burnt out of the competitive side after a while. But then it couldn't have come at a better time because MTG is hopefully just around the door. What a perfect time for that banner or bow or inflatable, whatever it is, to come up as well. Use code LINS4 at checkout when pre-ordering motocrossgame.com to get 4% off. And I think they'll wrap it up for this one. It's actually gone on a lot longer than I expected. I thought this would be like a quick 10 to 12 minutes and done. Old Yapper Lindsay's been talking for 18 minutes now. Crazy stuff. So I'm going to edit this together as quickly as I can. I'm going to leave the room whilst it's rendering, because again, it's going to be like having a heater on in this room, and it is way too hot for that. And I hope you have enjoyed. Comment for the algorithm, help a boy out, like if you did enjoy it, subscribe if you're new, if you want to see more, it's very much appreciated. And have a lovely rest of the day, wherever you guys are up to. Enjoy your weekend, most of all. Catch you in the next video. Peace.